According to popular beliefs, a werewolf can only have his animal aspect for a few hours, usually when the full moon comes out. Until today, its existence hasn't been officially confirmed. Ready to join the finest squad? Then make sure to subscribe with notifications on so you don't miss any of our interesting videos ever again. With that being said, let's begin. The Werewolf of São Gonçalo dos Campos. In February of 2014, a surveillance camera captured an alleged werewolf in the northeastern city of São Gonçalo dos Campos, a Brazilian municipality in the state of Bahia. The owner of the place, where the camera was, claimed the creature ran past him, making it almost impossible to be distinguished. However, he said it was of a very dark fur and a height of about 1.5 meters. However, there were no other witnesses, nor were there additional sightings in the area. Even so, the authorities decreed several days of curfew. However, netizens recalled that previously there were several attacks of werewolves in other regions of Brazil. For example, a woman in São Sepe reported being attacked on January 28, 2009 by a giant dog that stood on its hind legs and walked like a man. While in 2008, Tawa police reported receiving numerous reports about a half-man, half-wolf being stealing sheep and breaking into local houses. Therefore, the inhabitants of these cities are always vigilant, especially to protect young people who are around 13 years. However, in other corners of the world, such as Latvia and Lithuania, werewolves tend to be good and bring treasures to people. Werewolf baby. A video showing an almost hairless humanoid creature with short legs, tail and pointed teeth has gone viral, especially in countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, and Brazil. After the material was posted on the internet, the users have heatedly debated the possible existence of a baby werewolf or a half-human, half-animal creature. Authorities from several nations even felt that it was necessary to react and disprove the rumor. Therefore, the police chief of Pahang, Malaysia, made a statement in which he explained that his department had not received reports of the discovery of such a creature. The policeman encouraged people to stop sharing the story, arguing that the photos were absolutely false. In effect, this creature has nothing to do with the supernatural, since it is a small figure made by the Italian artist Lara Maganuco. Maganuco is a self-taught artist who makes creatures and highly realistic subjects with soft silicone. In fact, her website and her Facebook page are full of photos of similar creatures. Buyers can get the statuette for €200. A wolf in North America. Recently, an audiovisual material went viral. This video shows a dog being chased by a giant creature similar to a black wolf. The video was recorded in a remote area of North America. In the material, you can hear a dog barking at something in the forest while its owner sees it. But suddenly, a large black form emerges from the forest floor and shows the true shape and dimension of the wolf. Then, the dog ran frantically around the trees while the creature was lurking. The dog panicked as the visibly worried man began to shout, "Hey! Hey! Hey!" Seconds later, a loud squeak of the dog was heard, and the video ends. Some internet users have suggested that the creature could be a type of giant wolf that lived in America during the Pleistocene, while others maintain that it is a massive specimen of gray wolf. Do you think that this creature is really a wolf, a werewolf, or is it a creature that hasn't yet been discovered by science? Tell us in the comments. Werewolf to scare away pets. The owner of a pair of dogs took advantage of the proximity of Halloween to play a joke on their pets. The master decided to disguise himself as a werewolf to scare his pets. The video begins with the preparations for the realization of this fun joke and ends with the reaction of their puppies. At first, the dogs were clearly and deeply confused by the strange presence. Both bark and spin, as if waiting for an explanation about the situation they were living. However, after a few seconds, this cute pair of animals managed to recognize their owner, who finally removed the gloves as well as the mask. At the end of the video, the two dogs were given a delicious cookie as a reward. YouTube users didn't take long in commenting on the publication, and several of them said that this may be one of the funniest Halloween jokes they've ever seen. Werewolf in Montana. A rancher killed a strange animal in Montana, United States. The event took place when the man spotted that the animal was getting too close to his cattle. Therefore, this rancher had the legal right to shoot the creature. Subsequently, the farmer reported the murder to the local jurisdictions. The corpse looked so much like a werewolf that forced the authorities to perform DNA tests to determine its nature. Finally, the animal was a young female, but its legs were too small for a wolf, its teeth too short, its ears too big, and its front claws too long. This means that it is probably a hybrid species of wolf. The dog-wolf hybrids are produced mainly in captivity, and is supposed to be branded with a tattoo. However, this animal didn't possess it. But this type of crossing could also happen by chance in nature. Nevertheless, some internet users speculated about the possibility that it was a werewolf, while others claimed that the creature was a dogman, a legendary predator similar to a wolf that lives in the forests of North America. Moreover, apparently there are many encounters with the dogman, but the authorities try to hide it, and those who dare to go public are threatened by men dressed in black suits. Meanwhile, we can only wait a couple of months more to obtain purely scientific answers. The Paraguayan Labazan. The Labazan is the South American equivalent of the European werewolf. According to Paraguayan mythology, the Labazan is the product of a curse. The curse states that on full moon nights on Tuesday or Friday, it'd be transformed into an animal that would gather the characteristics of a dog and a man. During the transformation, the cursed one feels strong pains and discomforts. Therefore, look for the solitude of a secluded place. Then, he gets up in the shape of a huge, dark-colored dog with red eyes and a mix of human hands and animal legs. It feeds on the feces of chickens, corpses unearthed from tombs, and occasionally eats a newborn baby that hasn't been baptized. The enchanted one returns to its human form when being in presence of its own blood. This is why when being cut, it will recover to true form. However, it becomes an enemy to death of the ones who discover its sacred secret and will not stop until it sees them dead. To kill this type of creature, it has to be done with a knife or a blessed bullet. During the last months, many internet users claim to have seen this character walking the streets of Paraguay. Also, legend says that there are great possibilities of becoming a werewolf if you sleep naked in the light of the full moon. Would you dare to try it, or would you rather not challenge fate? Werewolf in Ipicaray. The Ipicaray Highway was built by Paraguayan prisoners. For a long time, it was the only road that linked La Paz with the Amazon. However, it is an extremely dangerous place that has claimed the lives of hundreds of people. For that reason, locals baptized it as Paraguayan Revenge or the Route of Death. So a little less every day, you can see dozens of crosses to remember the victims. Likewise, the Paraguayans affirmed that a stormy symphony of heartbreaking cries and lamentations deafened those who lived or regularly visited the place. To this should be added a new discovery: the presence of a werewolf around the place. Since the road crosses a majestic and imposing landscape that includes mountains, foliage, and the sighting of a great valley. That is to say, the ideal space for this type of legend. Today, the inhabitants of the area ask themselves why, after so many victims and in spite of precautions, people are still dying. Does this strange werewolf have something to do with it? Only time will give you the answers. Werewolf in Uruguay. In Zapopan, a Uruguayan town of 300 inhabitants, the neighbors no longer want to go out at night. In this town, located north of the department of La Valea, 120 kilometers from Montevideo, the presence of the supposed werewolf filled the inhabitants with fear, who, as soon as it begins to get dark, are sheltered in the tranquility of their homes, especially on full moon nights. Well, in recent years, several residents claim to have seen a werewolf that appears in the streets to scare passers-by. Some claim that it is an authentic sighting, while others believe that it's a neighbor disguised in search of fame and fun. However, in other corners of Uruguay, history repeats itself. In fact, Rivera's apartment even found the corpse of a supposed werewolf. In this regard, netizens are still incredulous and fearful. Werewolf by Kansas City. Kansas City is a city located in the county of Jackson, in the western part of the U.S. state of Missouri. It is said that its population does not exceed 500,000 inhabitants. However, the place is full of stories. For example, in the 90s, during a garage sale, a video was found showing the first werewolf filmed in North America. The film shows a young man filming his family until he passes a field showing a rare creature. In that instant, the vehicle they were in stops and they film the creature until it runs up to them to attack them. However, the attack looks a bit choppy. Considering this, some claim that this is the first werewolf captured in the act. However, years later, and after being pressured by the media, the owner of the video denied the veracity of the animal. He even claimed that the creature was him wearing a costume that he had gotten on the internet. Werewolf in Russia. A video in which you can see a strange creature sliding on a residential building in Russia generated a lot of uncertainty among internet users. In the controversial images, a being of long and flexible limbs is distinguished without problems sliding outside the structure. However, its enormous size and peculiarity makes its appearance quite shocking. From the balcony of another building, and without anyone noticing, a bewildered spectator filmed the mysterious event. Some netizens say that it is a spider, others consider it a giant octopus, and some people said it was a werewolf. As for today, it is unknown who the author of the video is, and if it's authentic, or if it's part of some ingenious advertising campaign. In fact, several users agree that it could be a graphic montage. What do you think? A rare animal, an alien, or a very good graphic creation? Today, we all know these enigmatic beings thanks to literature, cinema, and television. In fact, werewolf movies are one of the most used resources when exposing chilling stories about these characters. But how much will be reality and how much fiction? Tell us in the comments. Also, check out our other cool stuff showing up on screen right now. See you next time.